I'd like to introduce you to my boss, an extraordinary, fabulous lady who is the inspiration for us all, Mrs. Estee Lauder.
Firstly, I want to thank each and every one of you for all the kindness you have shown me during many, many years being in business here. I think every young lady could be in business if she really works very hard. Because when I moved to New York City, I didn't know anybody here, and it was the most difficult thing to let people know I have something very good.
Estee Lauder cosmetics are sold in department stores, and it is estimated that the company earns $1.3 billion a year and owns 38% of the prestige market. Its nearest competitor owns 14%. Born Josephine Esta Mensa, Estee lived with her Hungarian immigrant family in Corona, Queens, a suburb of New York, in the early years of the century.
Everyone asked me how I got started. As a young person, I used to love to comb my mother's hair. I used to watch her put on a little cream on her hands because her hands meant an awful lot to her. And my uncle was a skin doctor in Europe, and he came to visit us. I was only 13, and I remember he said, never use anything but a good cream on your face. And I felt someday I wanted to be a skin doctor, and I started as a little girl with the idea of keeping everyone beautiful. My mother went out. I always saw that her hair was combed as a little girl, and she said, don't touch me again. And that's how I really got started. And as I grew older, I wanted to be in business, or I wanted to be a doctor. And my folks objected to it. They didn't think any woman should work. And he thought it was beneath me to touch anyone's face.
Dreams were dreams, but as Mrs. Lauder says, love intervened, and in her early 20s, she married her childhood sweetheart. Joseph Lauder later changed the family name to Lauder, but marriage alone was not enough. She wanted to achieve something for herself, and she tried acting. "Joe, what is Estee doing up there?" her sister Renee cried when she saw Estee on stage. But beauty, her first interest, still beckoned, and she tried to launch her creams.
And I cried many times because, I said, I just don't know how long I could do this, and I want to be successful, and I have the creams, and I have this and that. And I cried when I couldn't get into a store that I wanted. I just wanted that store. It would mean a lot to me. And it was most difficult because when I went to see anyone to tell them that I have the finest creams in the world, they just looked at me. I'm just a young lady. Well, we don't need anything. And I made up my mind I was going to see the one head of this big, big buying office and let her see the cream and let her know about it. And that way I'll get started. Well, I did, and she looked at me at 9 o'clock and passed right back into her office and let me sit there all day until 5 o'clock. Because she said, "Are you here yet?" I said, "Yes, I want to show you what I have. I got the finest in the world, and I want to show it to you." And she said, "What do you have?" By the time she did anything, I had it on her face. And when I took it right off and I put in my makeup, she looked at herself. She said, "Now, what did you do to me so fast? And how'd you get me to look so well?" And then she said, "Well, let me know more about this. We'll come back." I said, "I'll tell you all about it right now." And incidentally, she's my best friend, and that's 35 years ago. She's an older person, but I get Christmas cards from her every year. And she always would say, "Remember when we first got started?" My great big chance came when Saks invited me to put my line in there. I thought it's the greatest thing in the world. It came along, and I have every store that I wanted. I don't look for anything. They come to me. At one time, I came to them. Now they come here, and they said, we want your line very badly. Can we have it? We said, we'll see. We certainly will try our best.
Unlike Rubinstein and Arden, Estee Lauder has never owned a salon. She owns something much more valuable, department store counters. This territory is savagely fought over by the industry. Here, busy women can see everything that is available and experiment as much as they want. Estee Lauder has made beauty quick, immediate, and fun. Her department store dominance all started with a brilliantly original marketing idea.
When I first started, I wanted to go to an advertising person. I said, I got the finest cream in the world, and I want the world to know about it because it's pure. It's absolutely pure with the finest ingredients, the finest everything. And the man, the advertising company wouldn't take me. He said, you're much too small for our accounts. So I figured instead of giving my money to the advertising, I'm going to put my money into samples for the woman to take it home. Because I see and I think there are three ways of bringing a message to the world: telephone, television, and telewoman. Every time anybody bought one jar of cream, she got a little package of powder, a little package of the glow, a little package of the lipstick, and she went home with that in the little cream, the little package. And I said, now that you bought the cream, put the cream on your face, tissue it off, put on the little glow and the little of the powder that I have here and a little bit of the lipstick, and you walk out. And she tried it. They all went back with it. And every day in the week, I gave out gift after gift after gift. And then when I first started, that's how I started my business in New York, a gift with purchase. You can come in, you buy one thing, you get another thing free.
Be colorful. Be romantic. Be scientific. With Estee Lauder's free gift, filled with makeup, fragrance, and treatment products, including white linen parfum spray and triple cream skin rehydrator. It's free with any Estee Lauder purchase of $10 or more. Be noticed with a whole new look. Compliments Estee Lauder.
Her growing boys, Leonard and Ronald, and the demands of family life did not deflect Estee from her dreams of business.
When they were young boys, they worked at our factory, both of them, and they worked at everything we did. My son Leonard used to deliver things and do things, and that's why he's so capable, running the entire business throughout the world. He runs it.
Leonard, her eldest son, joined the business in 1958 when he was 24. At that time, sales were running at $800,000 a year.
As a young child, I was around when the company was first launched. I watched everything happen. The company was small. We all did everything. Make deliveries, answer the phone, write all the letters, all the little things that are necessary. It was both very exciting. It was a great way to learn.
Ronald left the business to pursue a career in diplomacy. Most recently, he was American ambassador to Austria. Mrs. Lauder is a strongly supportive mother. Now Leonard's wife, Evelyn, who is a corporate vice president, plays a key role in this multi-billion-dollar beauty concern.
Blue, pale blue, to make the eyes,
like a dual pan presentation.
yes.
Leave this as it is.
And a brown of some kind. There's a coffee brown there.
Right.
Our company really is based on a great deal of affection, good working relationships, very, very open and honest relationships with ourselves, among ourselves, as well as with our consumers, as well as with our customers, the stores with whom we do business.
Evelyn and Leonard do not run the business from New York. They are out there where the customers are, always traveling to motivate the Lauder employees all over the world.
Did we do the hiring or did Doris do the hiring?
The reason we go into the market in a van with all of our people is very important. First of all, it's an opportunity for us to be with our own people who brief us about their particular accounts. At the same time, they get feedback, mostly from Leonard, about how their business is doing. Then when we go into the store, we visit with the women who stand behind the counter because they are our eyes and they are our ears. They're the most important people to us. We train them very, very intensely. And they represent Estee Lauder. They represent Evelyn Lauder. They represent Leonard Lauder and the corporation and the team that is bringing them the product that they bring to the public. So they are the key person for our consumer to relate with. That's why they have to look good. They have to be informative. They have to understand about skin. So we spend a tremendous amount of time listening to what they say to the customer and asking them how a product is selling. And it's very informative. It's quick market research as well because they're on the firing line and they're talking to the consumer.
Even in a block-long limousine or a jet, the work never stops. This is the way Evelyn and Leonard run the company. City to city, state to state, always there in person. Sell, sell, sell is the name of the beauty game, and the Lauders leave nothing to chance in their pursuit of the beauty dollar.
The secret was using woman power in a woman's business. I went from one store to another. I made personal appearances. I showed every person how lovely they could look. And one time I went to a store in San Antonio, Texas, where people were mostly Mexican coming in there. And the lady came to me with standing when she heard that I was going to be there, that I'm just coming into town without shoes on, just bare feet, this Texan woman. But her face was all broken out with big, large pores. And the woman next to me said, she's not going to buy anything. I said, since when are you mine, Rita, what she's going to do? And I made up this woman's face. I put my cream pack on. I wiped it off. I have a cream pack that's like a facelift without surgery. It tightens your skin. It cleans your pores. It's beautiful. I put that on her. I took it off. I put on some cream and a lotion. And I made her face up look so beautiful. She looked at herself. And she couldn't speak English. And I couldn't speak Mexican. But she knew what I said. And I showed it to her on the hand how to do it. And I'll never forget it. When she looked in the mirror, she couldn't believe it. She touched her face to see if it was real. That's the truth. And then when it came to, she opened up her pocketbook and she said, she showed me on her finger. So she wanted 3 of everything, not 1. So I gave her 1 and then she said, no, 3. So I put it there. I didn't think she's going to buy it. But the other lady went away quickly because she didn't think she was going to buy it. And I called the other girl. I said, see, get somebody that speaks Mexican. She said, well, my friend in the stocking department does. She came over. She says, I want 5 of everything for my friends, everything. So they figured it out. It cost quite a bit of money. She had a pile of money like that. So I said, you see how you never could tell who's got the money and who hasn't. And from that person, one person alone, I had all of Mexico from coming over on the border to buy the creams. That week, everyone came over because they couldn't believe what I had done. That's before facelifting was in style. I really lifted her face.
The Lauder success story has, in part, been a willingness to use new marketing techniques, taking advantage of developments such as video. Here, a woman is taped being given a makeup lesson, which she can take home with her on a video cassette and do it herself, using Estee Lauder products, of course. This is the closest Estee Lauder ever gets to the old-style salon. It's still an individual consultation, using the latest colors and ideas. Quick, easy, and fun. It's one stop and a permanent recipe. Selling beauty products in fashion departments, not just with other competitors in beauty areas, is another Lauder innovation. Outposts, as these extra beauty counters right next to fashion are called, are a huge success with women who want makeup colors to match their clothes and who aim for a total look. And if the fashion is too expensive, well, a lipstick needs no second thoughts. New perfumes get a megawatt show business send-off. Every launch is like a movie premiere that saturates a department store.
Bring out a beautiful fragrance, to have the fragrance that's so gorgeous. First of all, each and every one of you, you can't have one jar there or one bottle or one thing. I want every counter to be put in with pink silk, with pink of everything, to have as many boxes, dummy boxes as you can. Get it in there and to say, have you seen this lovely new fragrance? Let me show it to you. Put it on their right hand because that's what they eat with, that's what they comb their hair with, and that's what they do everything. Don't put it on the back. Put it with excitement because that's what you have here. It's a fragrance that is so exciting. I want you to get to every store, every place, the pink, pink, pink.
Estee Lauder eyes, Estee Lauder lips, Estee Lauder glow, all in a...
Another radical innovation in perceived value is a purchase with a purchase. It was invented by Mrs. Lauder.
This $95 value is just $20 with any Estee Lauder fragrance purchase. So you can give yourself the best gift of all from Estee Lauder.
Estee was the first beauty queen to make the connection between beauty and an idealized lifestyle to which the customer could relate. Her advertising is always full of clues about the status of the woman who chooses Estee Lauder products. A brilliant innovation has been the creation of new product lines without the Estee Lauder label. This means more counter space and a bigger share of the market. It is competition, but Estee Lauder always wins.
The cosmetic industry is really entering a whole new phase today. It's much more scientific, much more targeted, much more specific in the way they approach things. Each product is no longer a general all-purpose product, but, as I said, a targeted product that will go and handle a specific project and do it much better than it's ever been done before.
With the introduction of Aramis and Lauder for Men, the Lauders virtually invented the idea of total men's grooming. Now, men too have become beauty consumers.
I'm going to start with the skin clearing solution. Alrighty. The main thing with a man's skin is to keep his face dry looking and healthy. The next thing is we have to put some moisture into your skin, but this is a special moisturizer just designed for a man's skin. It will go onto your face.
Even 10 years ago, men would not have dreamed of getting this sort of grooming and cosmetic advice in public. Clinique, the pure beauty concept, was the next original idea. Now, it is estimated it sells $360 million worth a year.
I felt that there's so many people that are allergic, and I want to come out with the finest allergic creams. And I was the one that created the word without fragrance, because every cream, even the allergy creams, have perfume in it. And I said, no perfume in the world would I put into the Clinique. And every young girl and every person that's allergic uses Clinique, and that's mine. We started on that, and we said fragrance-free, and Estee Lauder is pure in every respect.
The products that existed for people who were allergic, so-called allergic, were only drugstore products. But we were selling only in the specialty stores, the perfumeries, and the department stores, because that's our market, being a prestigious line. So Clinique was born in 1966.
Clinique is clean. The image is simple and somehow pure. Prescriptives, the quick, scientific approach to beauty and skincare, was next.
Prescriptives came because we had so many great new technological advances in the skincare area that we thought it would be a wonderful idea to come up with the most advanced skincare line ever.
We wanted to go right into the market of the young professional woman who required excellent service, who wanted to have a very quick visit at the counter and look at colors that were extremely high fashion, where there was a whole technique for her to understand her own color needs, and therefore we have the color wheel. And the customer can come into the store, she can have her skin typed, and she either is one kind of color range or another. When she knows what she is, she then sees the choices that she has that are best for her coloring.
A whole new generation love this approach. Each of the different Lauder lines has a totally separate image, message, and presentation. Prescriptives, for instance, is futuristic, and its launch was postmodern in implication, completely different from the lavishly Baroque Lauder launches. They compete against each other. It is healthy, Estee has said.